Hi guys, welcome to Flip It TV. We're here in Dolan's Warehouse.
And tonight we're going to be catching up with the amazing Hypnotic Brass Ensemble. Keep watching.
Baji, the ghetto psychologist. My instrument is trumpet, but I play many instruments and anything I put my mind to.
Nice. Tell me about growing up in Chicago and the impact your father had on your musical career.
Well, growing up in Chicago was rough, especially growing up with 15 boys and 7 sisters. It's a big family. And living on the roughest side of Chicago, you know, it's not easy. They thought we were a gang, and there's many gangs in Chicago, so we always had to fight. But, you know, we're past that. My father's impact on me is, he used to always tell me, you will hate me now, but you will always love me later. He used to make us play instruments. We chose him first, but he didn't let us put it down. You know, a child, you pick the instrument up, think it's fun, think it's cool, shiny, but then doing the practice and the hard work behind it, you'll want to put it down. He did not let us put it down. So, like he said, I will kiss his muddy foot.
Because you started out when you were like 3, didn't you?
No,
3 or
my
4?
youngest brother on stage did. I started out when I was 5. I actually started out with the guitar, but then I was like, I'm a pretty boy, my fingers gotta be straight. I was like, alright, I'll go after what my father did. That's the trumpet. That's his signature instrument as well as mine.
Because he used to play with Serrano and the lads, didn't he?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
He was the lead trumpeter of Sunrise Orchestra, and you know he had been playing in many different other bands. You know, no big names, but Sunrise actually opened his horizon as far as playing music from here. So that made him, or it inspired him to go further, and there's great hits behind it.
I think the other boys from Hypnotic B are on their way up. Like,
hello, Flipper TV. Flipper TV.
Do you like it?
On you or me.
And what's your name and what instrument do you play?
My name's Smooth and I play trumpet. Can't you tell? Look at the mark on the lip. Trumpet player. Strawberry on the lip. Trumpet, you know?
So, how would you guys classify your music? I know you guys, it's your own style. You guys came up with your own form of music.
Well, we hate to like put it in a bracket or a column, but when we have to, we like to call it now music. Like the music of jazz, it morphed into different musics, but it itself never grew beyond its heyday in like the 60s and the 70s. So we consider ourselves to be the 2010 version of the music jazz that was one of America's only really music forms that we invented ourselves and put across the world. So, I mean, you had greats like Coltrane, Miles, Dizzy, and they did a lot of big things with the music. So big that people still trying to imitate that now. But they never passed the torch on. And so our father had his own style, which we call cosmic. I mean, we can call it a lot of things, but we like to call it now music. It's everything that has everything to do and included with what's going on right now and everything that happened before then that led up to now.
So you guys draw your influences literally from everywhere then?
Everywhere that's good. It's a lot of music everywhere. We don't listen to everything, but we listen to the better parts of a lot of different music.
What don't you listen to?
Well, we learned classical music when we were children, but we don't bump that at all now.
I can honestly say I really don't listen to too much jazz because me personally, I don't really want us to come off as like a jazz band, like
stuff, that acid.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're more so. I wouldn't even want to call it a hip hop band, but if we had to choose a genre, me personally, I would call us a hip hop band. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Because we usually we got jazz instruments, so you just couldn't call it a jazz band because we got jazz instruments.
Well, I'll say this. Unfortunately, but fortunately, I only listen to us because, I mean, myself, I've been playing on stage for more than 25 years, and I mean, this is all I know. So, I mean, when I sit in the car and drive, I put in us. So, I mean, there's a lot of great music out here, You know, there's a lot of talent out here. I respect music only if it's good.
Yeah, we like the best contradiction ever. We rock stars with jazz instruments that play hip hop.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So guys, you took your music to the streets. How were you received when it first came out? Because it was so different to what was going on at the time.
Actually, they loved us because actually at that time really wasn't no one doing that. Like
Yeah.
now, since we did it, everybody's trying. We're not the first guys to play brass instruments,
Yeah.
but since we did it in like '99, recorded the first album in 2001. Since we did it, you see everybody got a live section now. Even if it's not just horns, they got it. They bringing back the keys, even the live bass, just a live show. We kind of made it hot again to do
Yeah.
that. And we didn't really notice it when we first did it, but once we started noticing, like, wow, nobody's really doing it. So, you know, we kind of stuck with it and went to that edge. But we like to call it hypnotic. If y'all looking for the genre, what kind of music it is, it's hypnotic. Call it hypnotic.
The only other band I can think of that would do a live show with live instruments is The Roots. Like they're the only band.
But y'all gotta give us Roots. Questlove will tell you, imitation is the best form of flattery. He'll let you know right there. That's, he got it from us too. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't using live instruments other than keys, bass, and guitar.
Raphael Sadiq, a lot of other people we done with Erykah Badu, all these people. You won't see them to this day on stage without a live group.
They used to love us. They used to love us on the streets.
Jay-Z,
Everywhere we went. Way before we was even meet any of them, when we was just in Chicago, before we was even doing New Orleans, Miami, New York, we was just in Chicago just building it up. They loved us. We weren't what you call a street performing band. We were the guys who the police knew was coming that day because they know they're going to have a job getting all of these people out of the way so cars could drive down the main way. They wanted like the sound, just the business owners of the neighborhood banding together like Hypnotic is taking all the money. You know what I'm saying? Like we was a force to be reckoned with, and we came out to get right into people's face. So we
I'll say this as well. I mean, it felt when we took to the streets, we didn't know the impact that we would have on people who are at work 8 hours and they get off work and like, wow, that's beautiful music. Where is it coming from? And actually make their day, make them feel like they could wake up tomorrow and do their job again.
Right.
That's cool. And what do you think of bands like Fat Freddy's Drop as well, who kind of using all of brass instruments?
I just learned about them like 3 weeks ago from somebody from Dublin.
Pretty cool, aren't they?
Like, you'll like them if you send me a link on Facebook.
I think anybody that's doing it is hot, you know what I mean? Anybody that's doing it now is hot. That's where it's at, you know what I mean? We kind of lost stray of it with all the synthesizers probably like the past 15 years, but it's really been coming back in the past like 5 years. And now it's here, so when we really went to the streets, it was more so to just get people to know us and to push units, because that's the best way to get people to know you. Get someone wax and get that out. So it wasn't like we were like starving and had to get out to the streets. It was more so, and then we slipped up on it. We didn't know that we could get that much of an audience by and that many people seeing us by being on the street. And once we noticed that, that's what we kind of took to the streets and started doing different.
You guys have opened for Blur and Hyde Park. You've worked with like Gorillaz and Mos Def and The Recipe. What was it like working with Gorillaz? That must have been unreal.
Damon Albarn is a complete genius.
Yeah, he's like we kind of grew to where we know each other personally, which helped with the music. Like when we were strangers to each other. We didn't know who Damon Albarn was. Like we learned how famous he is now. But like people, Damon Albarn wants to do a song with you and work with you. We're like, who is this dude? And like, what does he play? And you know, like we totally knew nothing about him, and he learned about us through our record that we released, the Jupiter vinyls at Honest John's on Lab Road. And so now that we've worked with each other this many years, like the Gorillaz project kind of came out of Damon working with us, a bunch of other artists, and said, all right, I'm gonna re-release the new Gorillaz album and put all these elements in it. It's really like an all-star album headed by the Gorillaz.
Because you guys can definitely hear you guys in it, and it's brilliant.
Yeah, they took us back about 3 of the songs we were on extra than the 3 we were already on. They took us back, so it's just not like a Hypnotic and Gorillaz album. So that's why I say he's a musical genius, and he is able to use all of these different elements and measure and balance them and still give like a good full force show out.